Tonight, you're going to eat something that was transformed by fire. You probably won't think about it. But that moment, fork to mouth, is the reason you exist. Every animal on Earth eats raw food. Every single one. Bears eat raw salmon. Wolves eat raw deer. Chimpanzees, our closest relatives, eat raw fruit, raw leaves, raw meat. They have been doing it for millions of years, and they are fine. So why did one ape decide to change? About 1.9 million years ago, something shifted. The fossil record shows it clearly. Homo erectus, our direct ancestor, appeared with a jaw that was dramatically smaller than anything that came before. The teeth were smaller too, the gut was shorter, the skull, however, was larger. Much larger. That combination is biologically strange. A smaller gut usually means less energy. Less energy means a smaller brain. So how did Homo erectus end up with more brain and less gut at the same time? Harvard primatologist Richard Wrangham spent decades on that question. In 1999, he published a theory that changed everything. He called it the cooking hypothesis. His argument was simple and devastating. Cooking is what made us human. Here is what fire does to food. It breaks down the cell walls. It denatures the proteins. It kills the pathogens. And it does the digestive work before the food even enters your body. A cooked sweet potato delivers nearly double the calories of a raw one. Cooked meat is absorbed faster, more completely, and with far less energy spent on digestion. Your gut doesn't have to work as hard. So over generations, it shrinks. And the energy that was going to your stomach goes to your brain instead. Wrangham calculated that cooking may have freed up enough metabolic energy to fuel a brain 3 times larger than a chimpanzee's. That is exactly what happened. Over the next million years, the human brain tripled in size. But cooking didn't just change our bodies, it changed how we lived. Raw food takes hours to eat. Chimpanzees spend roughly 6 hours a day chewing. Gorillas spend even longer. Raw food is tough, dense, fibrous. You have to work for every calorie. When you cook, that time collapses. Cooked food is soft. It takes minutes, not hours, to consume. That freed time went somewhere. It went to language, to tool making, to planning, to social bonding. The campfire didn't just cook the meat. It became the first classroom. The first meeting room. The first place where humans sat together and became something more than animals. Anthropologist Polly Wiessner studied the Kung-San people of the Kalahari Desert in 2014. She found that daytime conversations were mostly practical, disputes, tasks, logistics. But nighttime conversations around the fire were almost entirely different. Stories, myths, social bonds, imagination. The fire created a space where the human mind could wander. Think about what that means. Every story ever told. Every lesson ever passed down. Every tradition ever built. It may have started because one animal learned to cook, sat down next to a flame, and had nothing to do but talk. Now here is where it gets strange. We don't know when cooking began, not exactly. The oldest clear evidence of controlled fire comes from Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa, 1.07 million years ago. Ash, charred bone, burnt plant material. But some researchers believe Homo erectus was using fire much earlier, up to 1.9 million years ago. Maybe longer. That means cooking may have been with us for nearly 2 million years. It may be older than language, older than art, older than almost everything we call civilization. And here is the part that should unsettle you. The human digestive system has changed so much that we can no longer survive on raw food alone. Not the way our ancestors did before fire. Biologist Stephen Secker has shown that modern humans would need to eat raw food for roughly 9 hours a day just to meet our caloric needs. We don't have the jaw strength. We don't have the gut length. We don't have the time. We are, in a very real biological sense, dependent on cooking to survive. Remove fire from the equation, and the modern human body begins to fail. You are not just an animal that cooks. You are an animal that cannot survive without cooking. Fire didn't just change us, it became us. So the next time you turn on a stove or strike a match or watch a flame catch, remember what you are really looking at. You are looking at the invention that built your brain. The invention that freed your afternoons. The invention that taught your ancestors to sit together in the dark and tell each other stories. Every thought you have ever had, every word you have ever spoken, every dream you have ever carried. It started with fire,